this. They are tempted to say, look, we can't just stay there. Let us be part of the whole system. You know, so that's where we are today.
All right, moving on now. Economic experts say there's the need for Nigeria to shift from a consumption economy to one driven by production. If the country must attain greatness, the Enugu State government has taken a bold step towards this by signing a 100 billion naira memorandum of understanding with a company, Diamond Strips, to revive the Moribund plantation and operate United Palm Products assets in the states. The team, led by the Chief Executive Officer, made their intention known at the signing of the MOU in Enugu. TVC News Family Ajayi has the story.
Available data has it that in 2021 and 2022, Nigeria palm oil production averaged 1.4 million metric tons and 1.3 million metric tons in 2020 respectively. Despite its improvement in production, Nigeria has fallen from its position as world leader to the 5th largest producer, a sport that has stood for more than 5 years now. For this trend, government and private individuals are working to improve the country's palm oil production for consumption ratio and for exports. At this signing of Memorandum of Understanding, the group promised to upscale the palm oil production above sustenance demands. The group that has track records in power generation, sole investor in Onitsha River Port development, massive investment in agriculture, and silo storage development, promised not to disappoint. They underscored the historic importance of the palm plantation dated back to the First Republic under Dr. Michael Okpara's administration, Agric Revolution, hence his desire to revive the Moribund plantation.
Note the historical importance, and it's a great weight, and we realize we hold this asset in trust for the people of Enugu State, for the people of Eastern Nigeria. We feel that we can add value.
At this signing of Memorandum of Understanding, Governor Peter Amba is ensuring that the ease of doing business mechanism instituted in the state will spur investors to record huge returns on their investment. He aligned programs of the state government in place to boost agricultural production beyond food security.
You would notice that we would be here, we'll be very responsive. We're going to make sure that this partnership works for the benefit of the company and also that of Enugu State.
It's a significant product, and we intend to make sure we optimize its potentials here.
The group interest is to revive dormant palm plantation assets in Oji River, Ibitolu, and Omolokpa communities with the aim to add value and improve production in the palm plantation value chain. Bamidele Ajayi, TVC News Enugu.
Bringing back those days, did it? It used to be, the palm kernel thing used to be something that we used to export.
Yes, it's a very important commodity for export, and you see countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, they account for between 85 to 90% of the entire palm oil production in the world. Yet this Malaysia came to Nigeria to pick palm seedling. Today, they are making so much money. In fact, Indonesia made, in 2022 or so, Indonesia made 46.2, Nigeria, I want to say Nigeria imported $372 million worth of palm oil in 2022. What? This is something that we used to produce in ample quantity that Malaysia came to take seedlings from us. Today, we spent $372 million to import palm oil, and out of this, $249 million was spent importing palm oil from Malaysia. If you enter some of the department stores, you see imported, processed palm oil being sold. It's something to be really ashamed of. We are even also importing. We imported palm oil worth $46.9 million from Cote d'Ivoire. Are we supposed to import palm oil from Cote d'Ivoire? Because today we are the biggest consumers of palm oil in Africa, yet we are not producing enough for our population. So if a country like Indonesia can be making that much money from palm oil, there's no reason why Nigeria should not do it. But I'm trying to look at how much Indonesia. Okay, Indonesia exported palm oil worth $28.7 billion in 1 year. In 1 year. So if you look at Malaysia will import somewhere in the region of half of, we export somewhere in the region of half of that. Because Indonesia is the clear leader, by far the bigger producer of palm oil than Malaysia. And India, India consumed palm oil worth $9.6 billion in 1 year. So the market is there. The market is there. This is a commodity, just as I said about tea the other day. In the Mambila area, we are capable of producing tea. That's the only way in Nigeria where you can produce tea. Kenya, their biggest export earner, the biggest foreign exchange earner is tea. You see countries like Ethiopia exporting flowers. They export flowers to Europe and America. We have abandoned agriculture for too long. We have seen now with the kind of money that Indonesia is making from palm oil alone, that, look, if we invest so much in it, we will have good returns. This governor is someone I've been looking at. The Enugu governor is clearly one of the best governors around. You see some of the steps that he takes, you see that these are strategic steps. You know, Moribund, palm oil producing is trying to bring it up.
Bringing the private sector.
We will benefit from it because production will improve, they will earn more money, and we will be able to take care of our own domestic market. Because it's such a shame to reach that we spent more than $300 million to import palm oil into our country.
It's not good enough. So, what do you think about this?
First of all, I need to appreciate the governor. He happened to be my governor.
From Enugu State.
Yes, that's my state, and I'm proud of this particular development. And by the way, the governor, he starting off with this idea of reviving, bringing back to life stuff that are lying dormant. Look at the presidential hotel in Enugu. He's doing the same thing there. Look at the International Conference Center that was left, and completed by the Chimaroke administration. He's taking along that line. So I think that this idea, because government ought to be a continuum.
That's the one named after Okpara.
Yes, exactly. So back to this particular, let me tell you, my only issue, which I hope they've been able to tidy up, is a number of issues around this. Have they been able to sort out the issue of security? Because from the intro there, I heard that the palm stuff are in Umolokpa, in Oji River, and Umolokpa is somewhere close to Uzuwani, near that Nimbo, where you have this constant attack from the herdsmen. So I hope that factoring the fact that security is very central to this this particular very, very beautiful project. So I'm just trying to bring that to the fore so that they should be able to think along the line. But overall, I think that the governor is on the right track. You can't afford to neglect such,
money spinner
that you have already. So I wonder how the past administration, the Chimaroke administration, the Ifeanyi administration, even the Sullivan administration, never thought along that line. So just like Radhi said, I think the governor ultimately showcase himself as one of the good governors around, and I encourage him to look around. We have the other rice there too, the rice production in the same zone area. You need to look at that and to see how we can go to revive that. Then every other things. These things are very important because at the end of the day, you might have almost 1,000 or more people getting direct jobs there.
Yes.
Not to talk about the value chains around this industry. So it's a good development, and I hope that other governors around that look, don't forget that in the First Republic, when we had these regions, every region had what they are known for.
Yes, they are grass crops.
Exactly. So I expect our governors to look beyond federal location or only federal location. There are a lot of things they can do. Every state is endowed in this country, and I'm very sure that the Enugu governor is taking a very good step.
Julian, when you look at it, it's time to divest, not to concentrate all our attention on oil again.
Yeah, exactly.
We have so many of these things. Agriculture, it's a
Even tourism. Even tourism. Look at what the UAE, they have so much oil. Well, you can see that they focus on tourism.
And
they are making a lot of money.
Highest in the world.
Look at Malaysia too, focusing on tourism. There is a lot that we can actually, a lot of money that we can make from tourism.
But can you really do
we are not focused on that. People will say, "Oh, insecurity is a factor." But before insecurity in our country even became this bad, we didn't see tourism as
the oil money is just
we just focus attractive. And when it makes no sense to simply focus on the oil money because it's convenient. At the end of the month, you go and you share the money. Why not do what the UAE people have done? They didn't say, "Oh, because we have oil, we will not focus on other areas." Look at what they've done with tourism, building the tallest buildings in the world. They know that people will come and you pay money. So let's or even France. Look at what France, how much money they make from tourism, the Eiffel Tower and all of those beautiful places. We need to look at other areas from where we can actually make money and stop thinking that it has to be oil, it has to be oil, it has to be oil.
And do we have the wherewithal that we can use to process this spam?
Of course.
As in the mechanized?
Is it not the whole essence of partnering with a private company that will deploy technology, that will deploy competence and technical expertise
to
do the right? Yeah. So I think I don't know the letters of that particular agreement, but I think that there's no way the state government will want to give up such beautiful projects to a company that will not approve. I don't know. At this stage, we need to be sure that the company possesses the competence and capacity to run this prospective money spinner. So I think that the private companies are actually what's supposed to drive economy. Not all the state government need to do. What the government need to do is to provide an enabling environment. Government can run the business. That is why presidential hotel, for instance, had to fold up because it was being run by the government. But now that if they give the private sector the opportunity to run it, I'm sure they're going to get the money worth.
Okay, we have Garba calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us, Garba.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Go ahead, please.
I wanted to contribute to what.
Garba, go ahead.
Afternoon. Good afternoon.
You are live, Garba.
I wanted to make a contribution, to what is going on. Thank you very much for your discussion that is going on. It's very important. And what I wanted to say is that. Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello.
You are live.
About what I wanted to contribute is towards the security, the attack that took place in Kogi, and the one that is going on that you have said now.
I don't know how Garba is stopping. You're listening to yourself. All right, we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll discuss more. It's still Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We'll be right back after this time out for the second half of the program. Please stay with us.
Life is politics.